I uploaded over 578 videos on YouTube since I started in 2012. One video got over 1 million views, and one of my channels got over 7,000 subscribers. And there are so many things that I learned, from what actually not works to one of my channels being deleted after years of hard work. And I will draw you 12 things that will actually help you make money from YouTube. Let's first start with what you don't need. You don't need over 100,000 subscribers in order to really make a living from YouTube. You don't even need 10,000 subscribers. You don't need to post one video per day, and not even one video a week. And you don't need a viral video like me with over 1 million views or even 100,000 views. Everything will be clear by the end of this video. Let's first start with the consistency lie, because you probably assume that the more videos you make, the more likely it is that you make more views, or better said, you make more money. This assumption is not weird, because everyone says you should be consistent. You should post as much as possible, as often as possible, as consistent as possible. But as you know me, I care about the truth. And making videos consistently is not effective if you optimize for money. How do I know? Well, as always, I ask you to not believe me, because this is exactly opposite to what is true. Beliefs are never effective. But to give you an example, one of my channels is a poetry channel. I believe right now there is over 60 videos on that channel. You know how many subscribers that channel has? You know how many views that channel has? Or how much money it made? After doing that consistently with 3 to 4 videos per week over the last months, it has 4 subscribers. That's just one of the many examples of the things that I tested and verified for myself, which I always recommend to do. But it has proven to me that consistency is not the key. It's not the effective thing here. Consistency of the right things, of doing the right things is. But then it's not about consistency. It's about first finding out what things are effective. And you are doing this, or want to do that, likely because of this. You hope that this will work out eventually. Because what is realistic, or where you are probably, is perhaps here. And at any moment you believe that, oh, maybe it goes this way, right? And you get a lot of views out of nowhere. But likely, this is the place you are currently. Stuck at maybe 50 views per video. Maybe 100, maybe you see some progression, you go up to 1,000 views. But let's not care about the views, because you want to make money, right? Which brings me to the following. One always gets what they want most out of life. This has been absolutely true. And again, don't believe me, just look at your own life. Haven't you gotten what you really wanted? Now, if you take some time to think about that, and you think you got what you did not really want, then you may look in the mirror, because maybe that was the thing you really wanted. For me, I've made some big mistakes here, because I cared about revenue. One of the things that I got when I look back. And I had to be honest with myself, because I made $4.5 million in revenue. But when I look back, that's not what I wanted, because I cared about profit after I realized this. So may you realize right now what you want, you actually want, because it's very likely that you will get that. With a side note, given enough time, because you can say I really want $1 million right now in my bank, but of course it's not happening often that happens tomorrow. So time is an important aspect. Now, I made this mistake many times. Another one is that I hired over 50 people because I cared about external opinions, people around me, other entrepreneurs, family. After all, I was so conditioned to believe that hiring a lot of people, having a lot of employees is good. So what's the point here for you? Well, ask yourself, what do I really want? I can't find that out for you. But to most people, it is money, aka profit, right? It's very important. But if it is art, yeah, and this is a star, by the way, I know I can't draw that well. But if it is art or passion, or you have solved your need for money, then I assume you don't watch this video right now. But if you do, and you care more about your feelings, your passion, and you have solved your money problems, well, then it is important to know that, to realize that, because then you're optimizing for a completely different thing. Let's assume for now that you actually care about money, or better said, removing the need for money in your life. So how do I define that right now? Just for simplicity, even though you may want to make a lot more, let's say that is $5,000 a month in profit, all right? Then don't fall for the validation trap, because remember, you get what you want most out of life. And if that is external approval, validation from others, you know the deal, then you can fall for this trap, which is caring about this bucket. Subscribers, views, which is all vanity, unless you really want that, right? I have to make that clear. But you want to make money. So how do we get to that $5,000 a month in profit? Well, I actually created a workshop where I show you the how exactly, the step-by-step guide, how you can go from as little as hundreds, and in this case for simplicity, 1,000 followers on any platform, although there are more effective platforms than others, and it's worth spending your time to find out which they are, which I also cover in that workshop. There's a high chance that it is YouTube, and that it is YouTube long-form videos, because they usually build more trust, which results in your ability to make more money. Again, I explain everything there, and I'll continue to talk about the philosophies behind this in this video. But 1,000 followers is all you need, and that is very doable. What is very difficult for most people is getting to 100,000 followers, and even then, most of them don't even make this amount. So let's prevent wasting your time getting to a vanity metric of subscriber count, only to find out that that doesn't lead to what you actually want, because it is just a belief. Now, do I say that it isn't possible? No, of course not. But I care about effectiveness. What is the fastest way? Because everyone is talking about there are no shortcuts. You shouldn't take the short road. But it's simply not true. There are shortcuts. This is why there are kids in their 20s who are a millionaire and you are not. They're simply doing something that is effective. So let's talk about something that is ineffective. Because you have something called comments. Right? On YouTube, Instagram, any platform, whatever platform you use to create on, or perhaps you haven't started yet. Let's talk about YouTube comments. What are the consequences of leaving the notifications on those comments on and actually reading the comments? Perhaps sometimes, perhaps all the time. Well, what type of people comment under videos? I'm asking you, think about it. I know I'm generalizing a bit here, which isn't always the truth, but who are commenting? And is it effective to read those comments from those people? You may think it is just a small thing, but it actually has a big impact, because what you expose yourself to, anything you read here, also this video, if that doesn't go through a filter, then you end up as a silly Billy. And those are the people that comment under your videos. For the most part, right? They usually are broke. They don't have money. They're doing stupid things in their life, which is all fine. I'm not judging here. But if you actually want to make money from YouTube, then you should not care about the comments, unless you have some strategies like I also talk about in the workshop, where actually the right people comment. Caring about the comments, caring about the likes, caring about the views. And here comes a very important point. Leaves you with a lot of it, but very little money in most cases, because getting to a very wide audience has its consequences. And the majority of people are broke, ignorant, unhappy, you name it. Just look around you, don't believe me. And in order to make a lot of money from a lot of people that don't have much, can be possible. But then you have to sell something that a lot of low-income people want, which could be a Netflix subscription or a chips brand in the supermarket, which is all fine. Just ask yourself, is that what you want? Because if that's what you want, then it makes sense to focus on the masses. For most people, that it's both very difficult, so it takes more time, therefore it's less effective than focusing over here. And is this possible? Yes. But can you name someone who's over here? Very few. Very few have a lot of subscribers, have a lot of views, and make a lot of money. You can absolutely do it. For instance, look at Alex Hormozi. But even he recently switched to content, creating stuff for less people, because he's not the only one who figured this out. May you see this. For most people, aka for you, you want to focus on this spot. That is the spot you want to be in. And that also has a lot of other consequences of not being that known, right? But still making a lot of money. I mean, just look at the people that are very unhappy with their fame. But that's a completely other topic. So who do you want to be? A silly Billy or a clever Billy? Because silly Billy stresses about posting daily, whereas clever Billy can upload once every 2 weeks, or more often if he likes, but he doesn't need to. Why? Because he sees the results from those videos that he posts every 2 weeks. He makes enough money, and then it's up to him to make more. But then he has found the thing that is effective, and he can do more consistent or better. If we go back to silly Billy, he thinks, I need a video editor. This is a widely spread belief, and it's simply not the truth. Even if big creators like Ali Abdaal are saying, you should get a video editor, it's not the truth. For clever Billy, getting an editor is optional. Clever Billy also doesn't need paid tools. He can, because he makes enough money, but he makes enough money without the paid tools already. And he can simply make more profit by using paid tools if he desires. Whereas silly Billy is paying for tools already without even making profit. You tell me if that's effective. Now you might say, well, yeah, I can pay for years because I will eventually end up here where I make a lot of money and I will get it all back. Well, that's fine. But what if this doesn't work out? I'm not here to crush your dreams, but hope does. Then Clever Billy doesn't make the mistake like me and doesn't need to hire people. Whereas Silly Billy is watching a lot of people who are making a lot of profit and can hire a lot of people who are very expensive, hire talented people, A players, you name it, and thus hires people already or thinks about hiring. Therefore, all his attention is going there, or a lot of attention. And then lastly, Silly Billy needs 100,000 subscribers in order to make enough money to barely survive. And don't pin me on the number, you get the point. Whereas Clever Billy doesn't even need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube or 1,000 followers on Instagram. And in fact realizes that there's a lot of positive consequences from not being famous. I know I'm oversimplifying it here, but I hope I made my point. And now let's find out the truth. By the way, if you want to know the 80 plus free tools that I use myself and have them all in one Google Sheet without affiliate links, without sponsors, you can find the link below. But if you look at it from a timeline, and this is the end goal, which is freedom from money. Let's just assume that for now. And we are over here, which is right now. Then what is the fastest way to get there? Well, it's always straight, right? So that is what Clever Billy does. But then we have Silly Billy, and he does this and this, ups and downs, and maybe never arriving here in the first place. He hopes that he will get there, and he has a lot of beliefs of why he will get there, why he deserves to get there. But maybe just this happens. He makes some money along the way, or he may lose his money. He learned a lot of stuff that doesn't work, but he has not figured out what does, what really gets him what he wants. This is basically playing life on hard mode, or better said, impossible if you never get there. You can see life as a game you're playing. You only get one life, probably. I don't know what happens after, but the truth will get you there faster, because it's simply the things that work. I know I use the word truth a lot, but those are basically the effective things that work for you. Some are general, that work for everyone, like gravity. But then you also have specific things. And in the workshop I cover exactly those practical things that are effective. About how you can start making money from as little as 50 views per video. How to scale to $5,000 a month in profit. The clarity you need on exactly what videos to make. Think about the title, topic, thumbnail, hook, and what to talk about in a video. Without effort. I mean, you're so enamored by the belief that it all should require hard work, that it requires effort. But what if you knew it would work out? What if you knew this will happen? Then you don't feel stress. And I will cover exactly how you can feel good about the way you're making money, right? Because you can be content with the amount of money you make from a 9-to-5 job, but not all the other consequences, like the non-flexibility there. You have to talk to colleagues, a boss that you don't like. Very little freedom, limited holidays, and so on. Whereas because this is not the only way to make money online, you can make a lot of money scamming people, not enjoying what you sell or like, or are doing with your time. But there's a truth to be found about how you can feel good. And I will share exactly how you can figure that out for yourself, not by me telling you what I think will feel good for you. But the most important thing is probably, at least that's what I assume, is to get to that $5,000 a month in profit as soon as possible. So comment the word gold below to get access when it's ready. Which brings me to this drawing. And no, I know what you're thinking. It's not what it looks like. Now it even looks worse. So what do we have here? Well, this is definitely red. This area is orange. And over here it's really cold. So over here we have the person who focuses on getting to 100,000 subscribers because he believes that that will get him to $5,000 a month in profit or more, right? But what happens there, as I mentioned before, it's very likely that it is a very cold audience of broke people, unserious people, because this is what naturally happens when you go up towards the masses. So over there, you can expect a 0.01% conversion rate, meaning that only 10 people can buy what you even have to offer and actually will do. Of course, there may be more people that can buy what you have to offer. But this is a very realistic number that you end up with if you focus on viral videos. But then if we move down to a warmer audience, then you can expect a 0.1% conversion rate, meaning 1 out of 1,000 people buy. But then this is the place we want to be, because it's simply the most effective place to be. Again, for most people, which is the place where 1% is a realistic number, where 1 out of 100 people buy. And this is what I call the right people thermometer. But what happens is, if you focus on this area or just this goal, then it could be that there is no person that actually is interested in what you can offer, and not things you even have to create, things you already have right now. Because that's also a false belief you have. You think you need to build a product. You can, but you have things right now that other people would pay for, that you are simply not offering. Therefore, you're losing money as we speak. And you lose more money by focusing over here where nobody actually wants what you already have. Whereas over here, there could be 10 people that already buy this out of 100 people. Or more realistically, 1 person out of 100 people. Therefore, you need very few people in order to get to that freedom where you have less stress, because it's a truth. Money causes a lot of stress in people. Now, is money the solution? Well, that's a topic for another video. I actually made a lot of videos about that already. But this is what we want. And this is the effective place to be. Now, your mind probably came up with the thought, something along the lines of, well, I don't really believe Jordan, because how can it be that this is the place to be if everyone talks about being here? Well, that's always the truth. Very few people care about the truth, want to know the truth. A lot of people don't make money. So that's one thing. But then another thing is that those people that are in this place, you don't know about, because you only follow these guys who have a lot of followers, right? It's just natural because they have more people that follow them. But there's a lot of people out there that actually make way more money than these guys with 100,000 subscribers or more. You simply don't know them yet, perhaps, but you probably never will. And they don't talk about it because they also see that it doesn't get them the right people, perhaps. So if you can take away one thing here, it's focus on the right people, not a lot of people. Again, in the workshop I go exactly over what videos to create, what things to focus on in order to get to the right people. So you actually can make money from day one instead of 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, maybe with a big if, will it work out? After spending a lot of time and perhaps money and perhaps resources like time with yourself and your employees. Which brings me to this following timeline. What is this, you think? Is Jordan crazy? Is he out of his mind? You will understand in a bit. Or not, I don't care. You could be the one that tries to sell a smoothie, right? Perhaps you are doing that right now. You are offering that. Probably you think about offering that in the future, right? Because you're focused on getting viral videos right now. And you're not selling anything like most people, which is fine, by the way. Let's just say that is the case. You think in the future you will sell smoothies for whatever reasons, beliefs you hold, probably. Then that's where you are, right? But what if you're building an audience of people who actually want pizza? They actually want pizza. Now, will they buy your smoothie? Yeah, of course, some people may buy your smoothie, right? If you have 1,000 people who actually right now are hungry and they want the pizza, they say that they want the pizza. And you come there with a smoothie while the pizza is over there, right? They're waiting in line, whatever. Then how many will actually buy a smoothie? Out of 1,000 people? Well, a few. Comes back to the thing that I draw before. So you can make some money there. But where they are is they crave pizza. So what is over the other end here? We have the craving over here. And over here we have satisfaction when they are happy. And when are those people most happy? Well, of course, when they get their pizza and they consumed it, they have eaten it, and they enjoyed the thing because it was good pizza. Which basically, pop, they walk over here. And there's a point where they're most happy. So there's a point where they crave the thing, the pizza, and there's a point where they are most happy. And in between is, well, for instance, standing in line or calling Domino's and waiting for the pizza, where already some dopamine is being created. Perhaps some of them buy your smoothie, which they don't really want. But then they're over here, right? They're not really satisfied. But if you sell them the pizza and they consumed it and they liked it, it was a good pizza, then they can come over here where they can be most happy. And that can be the best place to ask for a review, right? Where you say, hey, go to my Trustpilot and leave a review, or wherever, right? Or record them while you are there in the restaurant or at Domino's and they just finished their pizza. In the workshop, I go exactly over how you can find out what they crave. Your current people that you already create content for, and especially the people that you want to serve with something you already have. Not one thing, not two things, many things you already have that you can offer right now, today, and that people are willing to pay for more than you think. You will be surprised. But yeah, of course, if you are focused on selling pizzas, which may, let's just say, is an expensive pizza of $10, then you need more than 1,000 people on your subscribers. You need more, a lot more views in order to get to that goal of $5,000 a month in profit. And now you may think, well, it is very difficult to do that, to make money, to make a lot of money, because you have already spent a lot of time, perhaps, or a lot of effort on trying to get there. But when you think about it as a pyramid, then over here you want to be. You want to make the most amount of money. And it's actually less difficult in a world where almost anyone is focusing here and are trapped in the viral lies, the viral paradox, where they need to be in the top of that pyramid. And of course, that place is more crowded. Therefore, this place may not look like it yet, but is way easier and way more effective to get to. More importantly, I want to, if you can take away one thing, may it be this: the best life is the life with the least amount of sacrifices. Any compromise you make, whether it's one with your partner, with things you actually want, which could be spending less time on things that you don't like doing, will lead to a less happy life. And I know happiness is such a big word, but for simplicity, I used it here. And I found for myself that a personal brand that makes effective content is the place for me to be, with the least amount of sacrifices. That doesn't have to be the same for you, but if you're still watching, it may be. And remember, you're only 1,000 people away from this place. And if you found this video valuable, I'm sure you will find this one even better.